Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Every Mind Matters. And today I'm really happy to be talking with a lovely lady called Amy Bright. Hello, Amy,
Hello.
who's going to tell us about her journey of losing her sight. So, I've known Amy for quite a while, and she's absolutely amazing. So, Amy, straight into it. First question. Tell us about your journey of losing your sight.
So I'll start from the beginning, I suppose. I started losing my sight at the age of 13. And it was very rapid. So within 3 months, I lost my vision. It started with my right eye, and then it moved on to my left eye 3 months later. And it was due to my optic nerve deteriorating. So I've sort of got sort of a diagram to show you, really. So imagine a plug, and you've got a wire, and the actual plug is for your eyes, and then the end of the wire is your brain. So the bit in the middle where the wire is, that's the optic nerve. And basically, my optic nerve has just totally thinned and it's really pale now. And I like using that sort of visual to make people understand more about things. And I created that quite a while back. And once I showed people, they were like, "Oh, that's a great way of showing it," and stuff like that. So I find it really helpful to show that. And I was very visual before losing my sight. So I've gradually tried to sort of use a different learning method to try and help myself. So, at the age of 13, you're in, I believe it's year nine. I think, yes, year nine. So I was halfway through year nine at the time, and I had to sort of come to terms with losing my sight. So, I didn't really want anyone to know because obviously, like, it's sort of that you're in the stage of grief. And I don't think people realize the stages of grief when you're losing your sight because people think of grieving as um losing a loved one, for example, and stuff like that. It comes with losing your sight and with any other disability um as well. So, I was going through each stage of grief, and I talk about this during my podcast too, about the stages of grief. And I think it's really important to understand the stages of grief. And basically, as I was losing my sight, I was sort of um in stages of denial mainly. And you still do get that now, even though it has been 5 year for me, since I was 13, ish. So basically, as I was losing my sight, um, I was going through trying to revise for my GCSEs as well. So it's a big thing, GCSEs anyway, but adding sight loss on top, it creates that sort of barrier. So I had really good support during my GCSEs, and I'm really thankful for that. And th they supported me with like revising and in lessons and stuff like that. And I ended up getting really good GCSE results. And then
Excellent.
moving on to my A levels, um, I sort of I started to get vestibular migraine symptoms um due to the amount of vision I lost. So my balance was getting really bad and stuff like that, and I ended up getting troubles with vestibular migraine. Um, Touch wood, it's okay now. But at the time, I was really struggling with it because no one knew what it was because there's so many things with vertigo. Um, and it's trying to understand like which condition it is and stuff like that. Um, and I finished my A levels, completed them, and I had really good support throughout then too. And
Good.
I'm really thankful for that. And now I'm in university studying psychology. And I recently got a 2-1 in my final results. So yeah.
Brilliant. Well done. Well done. And how has this affected your mental health, especially to begin with?
Well, I'm going to talk about the stages of grief mainly, um, because it comes hand in hand with sight loss and grieving, and it's sort of you have that sort of thing where you're constantly seeing your blind spot, so you constantly get reminded of it. And I think that's probably one of the worst things because I think the amount of people that I've spoke to who are visually impaired, um, they're sort of they say the same thing of they're not able to forget about it because they're constantly not able to see it. Do you
Hmm.
know what I mean? So, I've known people to even um want to go to sleep constantly because they want to dream. And when you lose your sight, and you could see beforehand, it's found that when you dream, because you've got that visual memory still, you're able to see fully in your dream.
Hmm.
So it's completely understandable for people wanting to dream. Um, and um, especially at the start of losing my sight, um, it was like sort of the denial and everything like that. Every single grieving stage was there. It does decrease over time, but I still do get it now. And I think it's one of those things where you'll never get over it, but you just, over time, you get sort of, it decreases more. It's still there, but it's not there as much as the start.
Right. Okay. Okay. And how did this affect the people around you?
Well, my friends and my family members, my family was really supportive. My friends, some of them left me, like they didn't want to be friends with me anymore. Um, because I think they were scared of what to do or what to say. And it got to a stage, well, any age is bad, well, with losing your sight, but during your teenage years, especially, you're finding your personality and you're finding yourself really,
Mm.
and you're finding which friends you want to stick with and stuff like that. And um, it was really tough with losing my sight and then losing my friends too, because you really think that someone would stick with you when you're losing your sight. But I don't know if didn't really know where to put themselves. But at the end of the day, you're the exact same person as you were beforehand, but with not much sight left. Like I've still got the same sort of personality and everything like that. I haven't changed in that way. It's
Hmm.
just my eyesight is decreased. So I think that's what people don't really understand as well. And they're sort of scared how to act around you, which I hated as I was losing my sight, and I still do now, really. So like people talk to you, like talk down to you, like you're younger than you are, and speak slowly and loudly to you. And I mean, I've still got the sort of capacity to be able to understand people and stuff like that. And with losing my sight, it doesn't mean that I've lost everything else. So yeah,
Okay. Okay. And this must have knocked your confidence and your sense of identity to begin with.
it did, and I had to sort of bring it back. Um, and I believe that having the support that I did
Mm,
and everything like that really helped me because it brought my confidence more
mm,
um and increased my confidence. And about a year ago, I started young health training. And that really grew my confidence more and more because I talk to professionals about young people and like basically training them how to act around young people. And it's a big thing at the minute, with like how professionals act towards young people, disabled people, people who are struggling with mental health. So we're trying to like decrease the stigma as well. So that grew my confidence as well, and also doing the podcast videos and stuff like that. It sort of has helped me, um, have the sort of strength as well to share my story and especially doing podcasts, people really look forward to the next podcast because they like what I'm doing, and I get messages as well saying like, "Oh, I can't wait for your next podcast" and stuff like that, which it sort of gets you to do it more and more because you know that it's helping people and stuff like that.
that's good. That's good. And what is it that you've learned throughout of this? There must have been some learnings, some positives.
Well, mainly, um, my confidence has grew as well. The person that I am has sort of changed in a way, but
Mhm.
I don't know if that is also linked to when I was younger, like obviously your confidence increases over time anyway, but I think it's really helped with doing the podcast and stuff like that. I wouldn't have done the podcasts and stuff when I was sighted. So it comes to the point where like you get to sort of make yourself stand up for yourself in a way. So I've got like a big thing with like accessibility and um screen readers and stuff like that. And I try to get things sorted in a way because I know it's going to help me and somebody else. So you sort of have to have that confidence to be able to talk and say what's not working well, what is working well, and that sort of increases over time as well, to sort of share your needs as well. And it's really important to do that because the more people that know that's not working well, it might turn into a better outcome for you as well.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is something I say all the time that when we go through challenges in life, we learn something, we become a different person about it. So, what's the biggest learning you've got from losing your sight and being able to handle it? Because I know you're quite active. You get out and you run and you do lots of other things. So, what's been the biggest learning out of this?
Well, when I think back, from losing my sight, I would never have thought that I would have ran that 5K. I go guide running once a week, and that shocked me still. Like I
Mm.
think about my 5K and I've got the medal still, and I'm just like, I can't believe I do that. I've done that. And it sort of brings your confidence more up because you know that you can do a 5K with a guide runner and stuff like that. I would never have done that. And also one of the things that I have learned is that people out there, especially, um, you find the ones that treat you well. You sort of understand who is actually a friend and who isn't. And that probably it comes hand in hand being positive and negative because it was really tough losing my friends as well as losing my sight. But you sort of, when you find your friends now, you realize um that some people can treat you well as well. So yeah. And I don't
Yeah.
think people realize, although when when I was losing my sight, um, they just think about the actual person losing their sight. They don't think of like family members and stuff like that. And it is really tough for like parents as well watching their children losing their sight. And I found that across the board really with the groups that I'm on as well. And RSBC, Royal Society for Blind Children, it's really helped me because I joined Sisterhood and stuff like that. And that really helped me when I was losing my sight in particular. Um, and also the charity sort of they're able to do Zoom calls, which is really helpful because they started that with lockdown, but they've just kept on going because it's mainly based in London. So it's really helped me to increase my confidence in that way too.
Good, good. And I know we had a chat a while ago in the clinic about the social media ban for under 16s. Tell me about your view on that social media ban.
Well, social media really helped me. Like, although it can be a negative, and I do see why they're doing it, but for somebody who was losing sight at the age of 13, it's sort of I thought back to then and how much social media helped me. So the content creators like Molly Burke and Lucy Edwards and stuff like that, they really helped me when I was losing my sight because Molly Burke, I feel as though she was 13 or 14 when she lost the majority of her sight, so she was the same age as me, and she really helped me when she was talking about what helps her, what doesn't help her, and stuff like that. And I'm really thankful that I had that to fall onto because it made us feel less alone as well. Because when you're losing your sight, there's not many people your age that
Mm.
has lost their sight too, and there's not many people you can sort of relate to. So to have like a YouTuber talk about their site and what helps them, what doesn't help them, really helped me in a way. Um,
Mhm.
so yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, that's the thing. There's always two sides to an argument. Again, I can see social media is a major problem, not just for children, but also for adults. But there is a positive side out of that, and that's thanks for sharing that. And you've gone on, you're now studying psychology and doing really well with that. Why did you choose to go into psychology?
Well, before losing my sight, I wanted to do hairdressing and beauty. But I thought to myself, well, I can't really do that now. I can't really cut someone's hair, can I? So, um, when I was 13, I was thinking, what would actually help someone? Because I want to help people that sort of have been going through the same thing as me. So I started looking into psychology and like the jobs out there and stuff like that. And I fell into clinical psychology, like looking at that. And when I was about in year 10 or year 11, I started just going into biology, looking forward to learning about the brain, the neuroscience behind things and stuff like that. And when I was in A levels, I did psychology, and that sort of pushed me even more and more to sort of like understand people, and I really want to help people who have lost their sight or struggle with their diagnosis as well. So I fell into looking into clinical neuropsychology after that. Because I love the brain, I love the neurons and everything like that. So I was like, right, there's the brain and also the clinical psychology that I want to do. So why not put it together? And during my foundation year of university, I sort of started looking into research and looking at like the health research and stuff like that. And I was talking to my lecturers one day, and I was like, clinical neuropsychology is the one, and that will in turn make me go into like, say for example, a hospital setting, for example, and talk to people who have had like a new diagnosis of a specific condition, and that would help them so much. And like every person is different as well. Um, Even if they get diagnosed as the same condition, their experience is completely different.
Mm.
And I really just want to help them to sort of understand themselves as well. Um, and going into first year now, um, you sort of, I'm thankful that I have got a plan going forward, because that'll in turn help me to know about career aspirations and stuff like that. Um, and it's that drive to move forward too. So yeah,
That's really good. That's really good. And it's so important, I think, with anything that we do have a plan to go forward. The great Jim Rohn said the mind's like a bicycle. If it doesn't know where it's going to fall over. And I'd strongly believe that. And I know with working with all these clients, we see that. And it's brilliant that you've got that, because years ago, we used to just write people off with any sort of disabilities or different abilities. And now it's great that we're seeing so many people getting included in societies changing. And you're helping with that at the university. I think you've just got a new role. Tell
yeah.
us a little bit about that.
So I'm now a student inclusion consultant working in the student partnership network. So I can talk about like accessibility, join workshops and stuff like that in order to have a student voice and speak for other students that don't really have their own voice or don't have the confidence and stuff like that. So that'll in turn help the accessibility as well as just sort of make students feel more included and stuff like that. Um, so yeah,
It's good. It's good. It's brilliant. And you mentioned you've got your own podcast. Tell us a little bit about what that is and how people can find it.
I have. So I do podcasts on Apple Podcast, YouTube, and also Spotify. I'm called help.vision underscore, and my icon is a little eye in black and white. And at the minute, I've got a series going on where I talk about the awareness dates of every month. So every month, I post a podcast talking about the awareness dates. But if I find something that I want to talk about, like it was PTSD Awareness Day a couple of days ago, and I really wanted to talk about that. So I went on and spoke about it and stuff like that. And I really feel as though it helps people to sort of understand if you have it in someone else's words. So like someone can easily Google PTSD, right? And I feel as though if somebody understands it by they'll understand it by somebody talking about it more
Hmm.
um as well. So I love doing that. I've had my professors even on there too. Um so one of them was talking, I feel as though it was borderline personality disorders. It's either that or bipolar disorder. I know a big difference. But um yeah, so I've had her talking about that. It's called Alison Dodd. And yeah, so and I also do videos as well. Um, make spreading awareness over mental health and disability. I've posted coping mechanisms. I've posted things about sight loss as well. And that's on Instagram and TikTok as well. So you can find us on help.vision underscore as well. And Mark, if you want, I can send you the link so you can even put it in the description if you want.
We certainly can, yes.
So, um, yeah, um, I feel like that's all I was going to say about that.
Okay, good, good. Yeah, it's definitely worth a listen. So I'll put that in the notes. So thank you, Amy. That's been really, really interesting. It's good to see that you're getting out there and helping people, which is really what it's about. So yes, have a look at the show notes and do visit Amy's podcast. And thank you so much, Amy, for coming on and doing this for me. Thank you.
Thank you.